Good morning. Today I want to share from a book of the Bible that you might not be real familiar with, but I really enjoyed, especially the second verse that I'm going to read. But I felt like I needed to read the first verse as well because it really goes along with what I want to talk about. It's Habakkuk 3:17 and 18, and it says, "Though the fig trees should not blossom, and there be no fruit on the vines, though the yield of the olive should fail, and the fields produce no food, though the flock should be cut off from the fold, and there be no cattle in the stalls, yet I will exult in the Lord, and I will rejoice in the God of my salvation." Wow. I just, that to me just talks about how it doesn't matter what is going on, how much you might be struggling with, especially finances right now, but that you can trust in God. I am just so thankful for my husband. It's Thanksgiving this week, and I'm just, as usual, thinking of all the things I'm thankful for. But today, God just really brought to mind how blessed I am with the man He gave to me to be my husband. We celebrated 25 years of marriage this year, and we really had our struggles the first few years where we were living paycheck to paycheck. We had our daughter after we had been married for a year. We actually had lost a little one a couple months into our marriage, and then the following year, right before our second anniversary, we had our daughter. And he knew that I really had wanted to stay home to raise our daughter, but I didn't think that that was going to be possible with our finances. But he said, God will provide. And so he allowed me to quit my job, and he worked two jobs for a while, and then God blessed him with a job where he only had to work the one and was making the same amount of money as he was with two. But it was still very difficult, and we struggled. But I always had faith that God was going to provide. I remember the one time I started to worry, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how we're going to pay these bills. And my husband looked at me and says, "Oh, I guess I have to worry now because you're worried." And I realized he really was relying on my faith to help him stay calm and know that he was providing. So I tried my best after that to not really worry. But I remember the one year, it was getting close to the end of the year, and I just didn't know how we were going to get through. And we were tithing at the time, and I was like, "Hon, we really need this money to pay this bill." So we stopped tithing, but my husband had told me, as soon as we get our income tax refund, we're going to pay back our tithe. And I was like, okay. And I kept track of what should have gone to tithe, and we did pay that back. And let me tell you, God has been faithful to always meet our needs. He's provided in miraculous ways. I remember the one year we needed a car, and somebody, our church was doing a raffle, and the prize was a car. And my husband and I just felt like, no, we feel like that's gambling, and it wouldn't be right. So we didn't buy any raffle tickets. And somebody from the church came up to me and said, I just want you to know that if my husband and I, win the raffle, we're going to give you the car. And I just smiled, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. But at no time did I let myself even think about them winning, because I just was like, I don't want to get excited about something that might not happen. And, just the thought that they would be that sweet touched my heart. And I kind of forgot about it. And a couple weeks later, I was at church and I was getting ready to go up on stage to sing. And she came up to me and she said, "Would you like a car?" And I was like, what? And she said, "We won the raffle and we want to give you the car." And I burst into tears and just thanked her so much and thanked God for the way He had just blessed us. And I went up on stage and another friend was up there and, "Are you okay?" And I, through my tears, told her that somebody had just given us a car. And she was just so thankful too and was so happy for us. And so that was just one way that God has blessed us in our marriage because we've been faithful and we trusted Him. And I just want to encourage you, no matter how bad things might look, just keep trusting God to provide. Pray, tell Him what you need, because I know He provides. So be thankful for what you have, for all He has blessed you with. Think of things that maybe you don't always stop and say thank you for, whether it's your friends, your family, your job, whatever it is. Be thankful. Have a great day.